Hi everyone. In today's video we're going to talk about an RPG, but mainly we're actually going to talk about a slightly different dimension about this game, and it's the development process of some of the games and how they work. Okay, and I got some cool samples to show you about this. But before I get started, just a quick reminder, make sure you subscribe to the channel down below so you see and get notified about the upcoming videos. And also, link down below to join our Facebook group, Video Game Fans. Would love to hear your thoughts about this video and some of the other stuff we're posting in there. Alright, so the game we're talking about today is a Super Nintendo game, an RPG. And we're talking about none other than Breath of Fire 2. This game was a direct sequel to Breath of Fire. 500 years into the future, you play as a character called Ryu, and you embark on this mission to clear the reputation of one of your friends that was accused of a crime. But really, the focus I want to take in today's video is actually the development process. So here we have this nice, pretty little Super Nintendo cartridge. How did it get this way? Okay, and to better illustrate this, actually I have a prototype of this game for Breath of Fire 2, and here you go. Look at the size of this prototype, and as a scale perspective, how about this? Okay, so developers, what they do is back in the Super Nintendo days, today's development is very different, but how they worked, they would program some of these FPGA chips, and they would go through different testing of the game. This one is by Capcom, sample number 6, and a lot of times they would make multiple versions of these prototypes, either through different stages of the testing of the game and getting it to the final QA approval, or even sometimes to get out the games and have them reviewed as quick as possible. Sometimes they'll actually mail these prototypes to magazines or other reviewing entities of the time so that they could try the game before the official retail version actually even make it to market. These things, these prototypes are pretty sturdy, and here I've actually opened my cartridge so that you can take a better look, actually appreciate the differences. So this is the actual cartridge, the final version of the game, and here's a prototype. Whoa, big difference, right? And let me see if I can hold the back of it. Really, it's just a bunch of tracers and some of the pins here. Same thing on this back. But it really brings into light a little bit of that development process. And a lot of times we don't appreciate the final products of what we have, and all the steps, all the development, all the testing required to get to this stage. Again, the programming and game development has significantly changed since the Super Nintendo games, where you no longer need to really do these physical prototypes. Nowadays, for most part, everything is digital, simulated, run through emulators, and highly tested before they put it on a physical media. And really, the amount of games or systems that still use a cartridge type media is very limited. In this current gen that we're in, it's down to the Switch, pretty much nothing else. All the other ones have gone away, and we all have now either CD, DVD, Blu-ray medias, or digital downloads. But hey, to keep advantage and to touch a little bit more of the game that we're talking about, Breath of Fire 2, here's a bit of the gameplay. Breath of Fire 2 by Capcom. So one of the initial cutscenes you'll go through is this climbing up of the tower with all this lightning. And I find it hilarious because there's so many JRPGs that have this kind of reference to this big tall tower dungeon, or I don't know, it's maybe symbolizing the pinnacle of the evil or danger at the top. But starting out, Breath of the Fire 2 occurs about 10 years after the first game,
And you know, at the beginning of the game, it actually gives you a slight little recap that connects you between the first and the second game. Now, this is a pretty standard type RPG where you'll be going through the map and wandering different areas, and as you do so, you'll encounter different monster fights, and you'll be battling them for experience like any other RPG. Overall, this RPG is a pretty standard RPG. But pretty solid. I mean, if you're looking for a good old school classic RPG, I'd say this is the one for you. It has all the elements that you would expect of an RPG, where you're gonna go and progress your levels, gain different loot, and gain different party members into your party that will get you stronger throughout the game. There's many different areas, and you know, the overall game is pretty big. Definitely quite a bit of value in this game and all the different content. Now, I've included in this little video a little longer battle through this bigger monster here, just to showcase the game a little bit more and the RPG style as you go through the different characters and select the different attack modes, and you alternate between them on healing versus attacking, spells, etc. Definitely pays off to collect herbs and healing potions like any other RPG, and you can save your strength to hit a little bit stronger on your next attack. So there's some strategy elements to apply in this RPG, which again adds depth to it, and overall, it's a pretty solid RPG. Again, for value and for classic replay, I think this is a good one to go through. It's just, honestly, in my opinion, not a wow RPG at the same time. So, as you go through and keep on battling this monster, once you defeat it, you'll get the standard stuff. You'll get some loot, some experience, and some gold coins. Now, I've included the commercial of this game that came out in Japan, and I'll let you listen to this a little bit. Gotta love some of these Japanese commercials.
So overall, you know, typical RPG that you would expect for that era. There's a lot of people that love this series. It's an okay RPG. Honestly, it's not my favorite, but it's not bad. Now, if you've played this and you enjoyed it or have different thoughts, would love to hear from you in the comments section here or in our video game fans group. Also, would love to hear your thoughts on the whole development process that we used to go for Super Nintendo and Genesis. And if you have any prototypes here, would love to see pictures and sharing of those prototypes. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.